Welcome back. Mr. Ikeji joins us next as a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much, Chamberlain, for having me.
From what you've seen so far, are we on course? Are we about ready for these elections?
Well, I would say we are 50% ready because the issues that were present pre-February 14th are now being addressed. For example, the security situation and the issue of distribution of PVCs. There's a marked improvement in the level of distribution of PVCs now and in the understanding of how the card readers will work. So I think that there's an improvement in terms of preparedness on the part of INEC.
Apart from maybe further distribution, what else can they do differently about those ones?
I think that they need to further train the staff, the ad hoc staff. I think also that they need to further test run the card readers. I wouldn't mind a situation where there would be a mock election, so as to test the facilities at their state. Yes. Yes.
A mock election using fictitious parties, maybe.
Yes. Just
because
to test.
You do know that that is also a little sensitive.
Yes. No, you don't use any party in mock elections. Just use it to test run the facilities, the ballot papers. You create a zone. And use the card readers, use some of these card readers, call people
in that
together.
case, INEC says they've been doing that. So they've had to, because you remember that we asked the question as to how long it would take to vote.
Yes.
How long does it take for the card reader to use? If you have 500 people, how many hours are you looking at? INEC says we're doing that already. We intend to conduct another one next week. Is that?
I think it's good
for you.
Yeah, it's good enough. But I would also, I would not mind where there is a clear a media event of test running the facilities, real life media events.
So in other words, they should also test run it with political parties.
To their satisfaction.
To their satisfaction.
Yes, something like that. I think it will go a long way in preparing our minds for the
Well,
elections.
anyway, the REC in Lagos just told us that over 1 million PVCs are yet to be collected. And we've been trying to see if we can put some reasons as to why some haven't actually been collected till this moment, knowing full well that we're also expecting almost 500,000.
Yes, 400 and something thousand. I think you can put the reasons to two situations or three situations. One, some people are reluctant to go pick up their PVCs, and some that registered here in Lagos may have relocated elsewhere or may have traveled out. And but the last set will be people like me who are willing, ready, and able to vote, but have not received their PVCs.
Why?
I don't know. That would be left.
You've gone there several times.
I've gone there several times, a lot of times, and I've been told that I should keep coming back. I and my wife, actually.
Were you in the 0 polling units?
No. I am in Omole polling units in Ikeji. I've gone to the local government. I saw my picture displayed, but my PVCs have not found. So there are a lot of us in that situation.
So what's the story about yours?
The only story, one of the times I went there, I was asked to provide a photocopy of my TVC, temporary voter card, and my phone number. I gave it to them, and they said they would reach out to me, but they've not done that. Only last week, a few days ago, I went to the local government and asked for my PVC, and they said it's not yet ready too. So I am part of the third group, and we are quite a number.
Oh, prayerfully. Do you think this is about, because there was a group that came up and said that, they are disenfranchising non-indigents. Did that pop up in your head when you couldn't find your card?
It's a natural thought pattern. If you are a non-indigent, you think along that line. It comes into your mind. But where there are empirical facts that may point to the contrary, you also accept it as it is. For example, as the REC has come to explain, it's only natural for you to give them the benefit of doubt that there may not be any such thing as compromised distribution. But I think that before February 14th, it was, I think it was clear that there were some underhand plots to disenfranchise a few people. Because now, you look at it, there were calls that the elections must hold on that February 14th. Meanwhile, INEC wasn't ready. Meanwhile, a lot of people have not collected their PVCs. And yet, people were insisting on that election to go ahead, including the INEC chairman, including Alhaji, Professor Jega, who insisted that INEC was ready and that they would go ahead with the elections.
But if
so
if he says he's ready,
yes,
how do people say, no, you're not?
there's no act to find the construction of a man's mind except by what he does. There's no way you can find out how ready INEC is except by what is on the table. And what is on the table is that a lot of people have not collected their PVCs. A lot of people would have been disenfranchised at the elections held February 14th. And so that gets to point to some suspicious tendencies.
So with the percentage now, would you say we're good to go with these elections?
I think that we are good to go with the processes. I think the processes are quite satisfactory.
Even though you still don't have your card?
I think I should get my card because I've been given the assurance that before 28th of March that the cards are coming. That's about 400 something thousand
Well,
cards.
let's assume, for some strange reason, your
Yes.
card is not among the 400,000. I pray that it is, but assuming it's not,
Yes,
would you
yes.
still say that INEC were not ready?
Yes, I would say that they were not ready. I will use myself as a very key example of somebody who is willing, ready, and able to vote and wanting to vote, wanting to exercise my franchise. And if I am denied, I would say that I use myself as an example.
In that case,
INEC wasn't ready
would you
because I
say-
registered.
Would you say then that it becomes a subjective matter in the sense that it depends on what side of the divide you stand on? It would mean that would determine for you whether or not INEC were ready.
Okay, there's no divide here. There's no partisan divide here. It's a simple, I'm a citizen.
Not partisan divide, in the
Yes.
sense that I just asked a question. To a large extent now, you believe that INEC is ready because of what you've seen.
Yes.
It's a matter of belief for
Yes,
you.
yes.
But I asked that question, you still do not have your card, even
Yes.
though INEC has had close to a month to ensure that people like you get your card. The last day is March the 8th. If for some reason before the election you're not able to get your card, would you still say INEC is ready? You say, for you,
INEC,
from
I
your
would say INEC
perspective,
wasn't ready, yes.
INEC is not ready.
Yes.
So I'm asking, would it be from the perspective of, you know, what side of the divide you stand on? For instance, if I have my card, I'll say INEC is ready. If things are working in my polling unit, if things are not working in your polling unit, INEC is not ready.
I've answered your question.
Yes.
There's no subjectivity about it. There's no divide about it. That's the answer I have for that. Because if you got your card and your neighbor didn't get his or her own card, and you say because you got your card, INEC is ready, and the other person didn't vote, then you are being
That will be
being unfair to the next person who hasn't got his card.
But perhaps so, but that would
Yes.
also be if it was a matter of between my neighbor and I. In other words, we're looking at two people and it's a case of 50-50. But assuming we're 10 neighbors, all 10 of us are together,
Yes.
and to a large extent, 8 of us have, 2 don't have. Would we
Okay,
say
let me
then
tell you
that
something.
INEC
Let
is
me
not
tell you
ready?
something. In law, we believe that it is better to allow 99 criminals to escape than to punish an innocent citizen. So it is better that you do not deny two persons of their right to vote than you say that they are in the minority. And therefore,
I'm
yes.
chuckling here because in
Yes.
that case, INEC will be the criminal whom you will let escape.